welcome to the 2019 SHIC Championships, the secondary schools nationals. It's day 6, it's the big day, it's the business end of a wonderful tournament here at the Fly Palmy Arena, Palmerston North, beautiful part of the North Island. Hope you're well. Justin Nelson and Casey Frank with you, and it is the business end. The AA Girls Final coming your way very, very shortly. And then straight after that, the AA Boys Final. National titles are on the line, and they're going to be decided right here on Sky Sport. Casey, hello and welcome to you. Big, big day in the lives of these elite young basketballers.
Absolutely no question. I think if I had to count all the number of conversations during a Tall Blacks camp or an NBL team where one player was telling the other about how we beat you in nationals all those years ago, I would be a much richer man than I am today. But this is on top of the pride of being a national champion. There's going to be bragging rights for decades to come, as a lot of these players will see each other again and again in their basketball careers.
And interestingly, with the AA girls about to come up between St. Peter's and Hamilton, we're talking close rivalry as well, because they are literally down the road from each other, next door neighbours.
Yeah, not much in terms of geography between Cambridge and Hamilton, but a lot in terms of the type of kids these are and what they're coming from. So should be obviously a high amount of talent in this game, and a lot of bragging rights for the Waikato region.
And coming up a little bit later on tonight, St. Kitts and Rosmini, the two top seeds coming in. They go head to head. There it is. That's a little bit later on tonight. Looking forward to that one, because these players, not only do they go hard, but they know each other really, really well. The Battle of the Bridge coming up this evening.
The players, the coaches, obviously the coaches are great friends, and I've known Aaron and Matt have known each other for a long, long time. But once again, you're talking about close proximity, probably possibly dating some of the same girls. I don't know, might know some of that, but with those kind of bragging rights in the city is always a fantastic thing. And we'll go back and have bragging rights for the nation, and possibly more importantly for them, for Auckland as well.
71 teams here this week, 62 schools represented, more than 800 players. It's an amazing event.
Oh, it's phenomenal. The commitment from all the volunteers and BBNZ that put this together is amazing, and the kids love it. I mean, they look forward to it every year, and it's certainly a great opportunity to see some fantastic basketball and players before they become stars. You know, if you just happen to walk through the gym at the right time, you might see a dunk over here, a 4-point play over here, a game-winning shot over there, and it's just all great fun. It's a hoop head's paradise. You got to get down here and check it out next year if you haven't been.
Well, it's the 10th year here at Palmerston North, and everywhere I've been this week, no vacancy signs everywhere. The restaurants are full. The economy, the money that must come into the economy here this week would be amazing.
Well, I think, for a lot of kids, as much as we talk about kids who go further, who are going to play for the Breakers, for the Tall Blacks, or play in the NBL, for a lot of families, this is the last chance to see some of their children play. You see, it's the last time you get to see your daughter play at a high level of competition, and especially when you get out to the regions and you get out to the provinces, man, they are committed to their local teams. And those bragging rights that we're talking about inside the locker room, well, that lasts between alumni for even longer than that.
Well, I've been starting to use the D word, dynasty, with St. Peter's. If they win this game coming up, it'll be 4 in 5 years national titles. Amazing.
Yeah, probably could have had the 5th as well.
Close.
Too far off.
Well, they certainly had a player that did everything she possibly could in that game.
Still is. Yeah, an amazing talent in Charlize Walker. It's phenomenal to be able to see her career progress to this point. And I think in terms of dynasties, I think they already certainly are one. If you have 4 and 5 years, her career will be looked on as possibly, like the building block for women's basketball at this level for many years to come.
Well, Leanne Walker, the coach of St. Peter's, Tyler Wilkinson, the coach of Hamilton. How are their nerves at the moment, you think?
Probably a little bit nervous. Speaking to her before the game, she understood the largeness, how big this job was, how difficult it was going to be. Confidence in her team, confidence in her players. But certainly a little question is how are we actually going to get this done?
Well, you caught up with Leanne and Tyler a short time ago. The two coaches, it's the AA Girls Grand Final, the championship decider at the SHIC Championships. National title on the line. Let's catch up with the two coaches now.
Coach Walker, on the eve of the final, can you talk to me about how the team has played in the run-up to this very important day?
Yeah, I think the team's been going really well. We're managing to get through our sets. Our defense has been, we've been working hard in that aspect of the game, and I think that's what's pulled us through this tournament.
And certainly a very talented team with a lot of expectations for you to perform well here in the final, but what can you tell me about what you expect to see from the opposition and how they'll push you?
Hamilton girls, we play them all the time, so both teams know each other. Quite similar styles. We like to both push the ball. We like to both get up and pressure on defence. They've got some fantastic outside shooters, so we have to stop their three-pointers. They've got some great middle penetrators in River and Koha, and they're just going to battle hard. We know it's going to be a battle today. It always is when we play Girls High.
Sorry, love to see a battle. That's great. And then finally, it's sort of the end of an era for you in St. Peter's, and with Charlize and Ella moving on. You possibly before the game, a little bit reminiscent before things, or are you waiting for the game after the game for all of that?
Yeah, no, I think we'll wait till after the game. Our focus is on the game, so anything that happens beyond it will happen after. Yeah, the girls understand that it's a end of a journey for them. We talked about it earlier in the week, but they're just focused on getting this game done.
Well, best of luck to you, and thanks very much for your time.
No worries, thank you.
I'm here with Coach Tyler Wilkinson of Hamilton Girls High School, who finished 5th last season. You were just telling me this is your 11th trip to the finals, won 8 of those, so not so bad. But can you tell me how you think the team's been playing, and what have they done so well that's gotten to this point in the season?
We've had some really tough games coming up to the finals, and I think that's prepared us better than if we had an easier pool. The girls that we played against have been quality sides, and so what we've done as a team is just our motto for this campaign is work harder than your excuses. And so the girls have really dug in, and they've come together as a team. It hasn't been great all year, but when it's counted, they've really pulled together. We had some tough games against Sacred Heart New Plymouth, which is a quality side, and they just held their composure and stuck to the game plan, and we're here today.
Well, you're here today, and you speak about some tough games prior to this one, but the final's going to get even tougher. Some unbelievable talent. What can you do to slow them down, and what are you going to do coaching-wise to strategize to get this win?
Leanne's a smart cookie, and you have to work. I sat up all night wondering about what we would do, and the message that we've sent our girl is not to stop, but rather to try and contain the qualities that they bring to the game. When you've got a class act like Charlize, it's almost 2 players on her to even try and get her to change what she does so well. And we definitely have to box out. We're a small team. We give a height advantage to them. But our little leads have been playing. They've been playing fantastic through the tournament. And in the team now, we've got that self-belief that we're going to do the best that we can.
Well, fantastic. Best of luck to you, and hope it gets done for you in the game today.
Okay, thank you.
Upgrading. Inserting shock absorber. Customizing pressure.
New Schick HydroSense helps protect skin from irritation. The shock absorb technology auto-adjusts to you. New Schick HydroSense.
Comfort Gel.
Select your shave with new Schick HydroSense. In 2 gel formulas, it helps protect your skin from irritation. New Schick HydroSense. Free your skin.
Welcome back to the Fly Palmy Arena, the scene of the 2019 Schick Championships. Great to have you with us on Sky Sport. AA Girls Championship decider coming your way. St. Peter's up against Hamilton. Casey Frank is with me right here for all the action this afternoon. Let's have a look at St. Peter's to start off with. Is it a dynasty? They win this, it's 4 in 5 years. Amazing. Paiwai Ledger-Walker. Look out for Charlize Ledger-Walker. She's a star. Jennings going through the list. Bradley, Waihi, McGurr, Kemp, Williams, Stevens, Vaitoe, Baker, Waihi. We wish them all very, very well, the young ladies of St. Peter's. Here's the Hamilton lineup. As we said, they're neighbours, not too far away. Anderson, Parai, Lewis, Walker Pittman, River, Walker Pittman, 43 points in the semi-final to lift her team up into this championship decider. Quite amazing. Walker, Ekatoni, Mitchell, Riley, Buakai, Gilbert, Leith, Neal, Peterson, and Waratini. Looking forward to it. I've been working on my pronunciations all week about a lot of games, Casey. Hey, quickly, I'll tell you who's also a big part of the show. It is the referees. Of course, Andrew Horrocks is down on the sidelines. He'll bring us up to date with everything happening down there. Andrew, hello to you. And who are our 3 officials for this big championship decider?
Hey Justin, great to be down here. Crew Chief Arpai. He's joined by Regan Astley and then Tony Lee, Hunswick Smith.
Good on you, Andrew. Thanks for that. Now St. Peter's winners 15, 16, 18. 2012 you have to go back to, Casey. That's when Hamilton won their only national title. They finished 5th last season. There they are in the black. Of course, St. Peter's are the defending champions in the red. What do you think?
Well, it's I wouldn't say insurmountable test in front of Hamilton Girls High School, but it's as close to that as it gets. This is a fantastic team, undefeated throughout the week, and they're going to have to play to their absolute fullest of their capabilities if they want to get this win.
Well, Charlize Ledger-Walker going in the jump against Kohar Lewis, and it will be a Hamilton ball first up. Let's see what they can do to get things underway. Some good ball movement to start. Inside ball, little up and under and rolling out for Walker Ekatoni. What a start that would have been. Ella Bradley back the other way, step around to the left, off the glass for 2.
Well, excellent pass fake in transition before putting it up off the glass, but I like what Hamilton girls ran that first possession. Very patient. They need to stick with that, make the St. Peter's team work defensively.
Leith to the wing, finds Walker Ekatoni. Had the opening basket for her team. Little bounce pass inside to Lewis. Heavy traffic. Lots of traffic in the end. They will retain possession though.
Just 5 seconds on the shot clock left for them to get something up, and the patience works pretty well, but they got to find a shot. And when they have the opportunity, make the most of it.
They'll want to get it in the hands of the number 7. They won't get River on this occasion. Up and over the top by Leith. Couldn't land a blow. And back the other way, looking to extend this early lead, St. Peter's. But not when you dribble it off your own foot. Doesn't always work out the best, unfortunately.
Well, ever so slightly sloppy there by Ziwahi. Didn't know where her teammate was, but got to be aware of all times as we see a solid defensive effort.
Now, we'll take you through this game. There's a few different relations in this game. There's cousins and there's sisters, and there's a lot of players who know each other. There's a number of players who played on the same National League women's team out of the Waikato as well. So they're going to obviously be going as hard as they can for a national title, but a lot of these players know each other.
Well, I always felt they played a little bit harder against the people I did know because the bragging rights would last a lot longer. Those guys I didn't know, I never saw them again.
That's right. On your way, Jennings to the basket. Good start. Wowada Jennings going at nearly 17 points a game in this competition.
And you can see why with aggressive drives like that.
As Hamilton still looking for their first points. Here's Walker Pittman, strong in and around to that left. Can't finish it off.
Hamilton Girls High School is going to have to get a bucket soon to keep their confidence up. Great looks, but no conversions.
Well, especially if Charlize Ledger-Walker's passing continues like that. You caught up with Charlize earlier on today. Of course, this time last week, she was in India.
Yeah, she's playing for the Tall Ferns. And, you know, a question that will air later on courtside, but I was most interested in is, you know, does it make the game easier when you go to that level and then come back? And she said, you know what, actually it's harder.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, she was like she said, it's just difficult. Everybody's playing at a much slower speed, and I have to slow myself down so much. And places where I'd expect people to be, they're just not anymore.
Oh, big strip midcourt. Jennings to take it to an 8-point lead, and does.
Jennings used that left hand twice now off the glass. Really nice job of taking what the defense gives her. That time, the defense gave it to her with that steal.
So some pressure on Hamilton early in this game. Can they respond? No.
Well, when they get the pass on the interior, when they break the defense and get into the paint, they're really looking like they're in great position, but they just haven't been patient enough to finish off those great looks. And this perimeter defense for St. Peter's has really picked up. We saw the pressure there, not even able to get into their offense. They have to penetrate somehow to make sure they have a better opportunity to try and score buckets.
Well, this hot start by St. Peter's has forced Coach Tyler Wilkinson to call a timeout and bring the Hamilton team together. Now, we just spoke about the Sky Sport Tall Ferns. This news came out yesterday, and this is really exciting, Casey, because for the first time since 2015, that's 4 years, my friend, the Sky Sport Tall Ferns are going to be playing an Olympic qualifying tournament on home soil in Auckland at the Trusts Arena, November 14, 16, 17. And have a listen to this for a lineup. China, Korea, Philippines, huge Filipino community in Auckland. Great to see our national team on home soil.
And against a couple of top 10 teams from the world. They're going to need our support, but what a fantastic opportunity for the New Zealand public to get behind the Tall Ferns and really cheer them on to an Olympic berth. A fantastic, would just be great to see. And as you stated, in particular on home soil, the national teams don't get a lot of games over here, so when we do, we tend to treasure them.
Pack the stadiums out, get out there and support them. Long three-point attempt from the corner by Jennings. Rebound. And away they come, Hamilton, searching for their first points of the game. Walker Pittman, ball on the floor, under pressure. Heavy going. Who's going to come up with it? It's going to be a jump.
St. Peter's is tenacious with the defense. They are putting a lot of pressure on Hamilton Girls High School right now.
Well, they know the importance of that number 7 just on screen, River Walker Pittman. She's had a wonderful tournament going at 20 points a game. They know they have to make it hard for her.
Anytime you drop 40 in games, the defense is going to circle your game from then on out.
In and around Paiwai for 2. The buckets keep coming for St. Peter's.
Stretches out to a 10-point lead. Hamilton Girls really needs a possession where they can get a great look and a bucket.
There's a national title up for grabs, folks. This is it. This is the decider of the 2019 Schick Championships. Nice pick and roll action there. Hamilton searching for their first points. And still waiting. Leith working hard. There she is now getting the ball back from Lewis, who now gets it back from her teammate, and again they're stuck on that wing, going nowhere. Lewis, clock coming down, and that'll be all, unfortunately, for Koha Lewis and Kayani Leith. Well, they were just playing a little bit of 2-on-2 by themselves out on that wing.
Well, at St. Peter's direction, they are dictating the direction of the basketball. They kept it on the far side of the court from the camera for the entirety of that possession, and that's just excellent effort by the weak side and denying and really pressuring those ball handlers.
Midway through the first, Jennings from deep. Came off the front of the iron. Here's Ledger Walker. Just settling things down. A little bit of horns action up high. Ledger Walker, great pass inside. Turnaround jumper. Ella Bradley finished off that by Ledger Walker. And she's already having a presence, Casey.
Well, she's really plays at an excellent pace, but you can see she's not really trying to score as much as she is trying to facilitate and get her teammates involved.
And I think that's good to get them involved early. It's a championship decider. You want to get everybody settled down. Good work by the leader. A miss.
Great pass by Wyatt Jennings there, but unable to convert.
Oh, back the other way. The red singlets are swarming as Ella Bradley finishes at the hoop. 14 zip run to start.
Dropping dimes. Charlize Ledger Walker. Excellent pass there.
This is a big, big start by the champs, going for their 4th title in 5 years, and still Hamilton coming up short. Ledger Walker over to Alana Paiwai outside. Ledger Walker gets it back. Jennings has had a hot start. Bradley, they're all playing well. They're up and about. Paiwai skipping through, has it thumped away by Lewis. Back out to Jennings though. They've got it back. They come up short. Watch Ledger Walker. She's clever. Oh, can't roll it in. as they all have a go. They've still got it back. What's that, 4-0 boards in a row?
This is a long possession and fantastic defense to start, but they must be getting tired now.
Here comes the pull-up jumper for 3 from outside. JC Lee Waihi drops a big one. And that lead now is at 17. Hamilton, after 6 minutes, still looking for their first score, Casey.
It's, St. Peter's is really putting on them offensively, gaining extra possessions with those offensive rebounds.
And as a coach, Tyler Wilkinson already used 1 timeout. This is tough because you don't want to burn a second. There's a long way to go in this half, but it's a 17-zip run.
Yeah, it's at this point in time, at some point you do have to trust your players to get something down on the court. But, man, they need a bucket to get some confidence. Just get off that schneid. Right now they're looking up and seeing that 0, and it's just getting bigger and bigger.
Well, Andrew Horrocks, you were down during that last timeout, no doubt listening into the two teams. What was said, Andrew? Because Hamilton right now, well, they're still searching for their first basket.
Hey, Justin, I was listening to Tyler Wilkinson, and she was talking about her team needs to be more active. They can't just go one-on-one against St. Peter's, or they're going to struggle as they have already in this first quarter.
Well, just as you deliver the message, River Walker Pittman delivers the first points, and that is a huge sigh of relief for the Hamilton girls. They've finally got the first one, Casey, and they're underway.
She's a fantastic offensive talent. She's going to have a lot on her shoulders to keep it close.
Speaking of offensive talents.
Well, there's the premier offensive talent in the country. Charlize Ledger-Walker makes it look easy from the three-point line.
Absolutely she did. Ball inside. A little bit of a seal there underneath. Good work by Lewis. Now she's under pressure. Good enough to find a teammate coming through in Riley Huakai. Couldn't put it away. Here comes Charlize doing her thing. And she's drawn a foul.
Well, excellent ball handler, bringing it up the side of the court. And, you know, I like a lot of the stuff Hamilton girls is doing on this side of the court. When they penetrate, they're making that extra pass, but you can see in the back of their minds they might be a little bit concerned by the size of St. Peter's at the moment, but they're just not finishing with confidence in the paint. Oh, excellent screen and roll open by Charlize Ledger-Walker there.
Got it back again, and she continues to facilitate her teammates. Jennings has had a hot start in this game. They'll bring it out again. They continue to get it. On that occasion, the pass not so good. And Lewis driving hard. Unable to keep it in though, Reese Anderson.
Tua Lewis, really nice defense on the far end before starting the break, but her team, not enough of her teammates came with her. All of a sudden she's looking for people and tried to find somebody on the wing, but couldn't quite connect.
Well, I don't know how many times you've been involved in a situation like this, up or down, but if you're 20-2 down with a couple of minutes to play at quarter time, as a player, what are some of the things you're thinking about?
Well, none that I can really say on air. but when it comes down to it, it's about resetting. You know, we one possession at a time. We have to do a better job. We do one stop, we get one bucket, and it's just thinking about the next one in front of you. You can't think of it the entirety all at once.
I might reframe my questions in the future. Here's Walker Pittman, long off the iron, couldn't put it away. And St. Peter's continue to swarm forward. They've got an 18-point advantage. Not even quarter time. Jennings from deep just gets it back herself. Why not? And again, off to Ledger-Walker, to the left, to the right, shimmy and a shake. And she can't drop it either. I think if there's one just saving grace at the moment for Hamilton, it's probably that St. Peter's have missed a lot of baskets right at the hoop.
You're not wrong. There's been a lot of open looks on the perimeter as well. So as bad as things are right now, it could be worse. I don't know if that makes you feel better as a player. Like, they haven't played great. We're still down 18.
I hope you're enjoying it. Live on Sky Sport. Some of the best elite talent in New Zealand, part of the Secondary Schools Nationals. It's a big, big tournament every year. 52 years, believe it or not. Oh, big heavy screen, Reese Anderson. That was nice trying to free her teammates up. Can they get a score out of this, Hamilton? Trying so hard. Walker Ekatoni couldn't get the score. That's a lovely pass to Ella Bradley. Great pass up the court by JC Lee Waihi.
And we see Charlize Ledger-Walker on the bench, but speaking to her before the game, I asked, was it a little bit forlorn coming into this final game of your career, possibly, well, not possibly, the final game of your high school career?
Yeah, because this is it, isn't it?
This is it. And she spoke up immediately about, me and Ella, we've been together for all of it. And the journey does end for them here at this point. Hopefully bright things in the future. But, man, what a time for them through these past, now 5 years of really dominating the basketball scene in New Zealand.
And being in the championship decider all 5 years.
Amazing.
I mean, that is incredible. And we should say, too, the 1 year that they didn't win it, which was 2017, Charlize Ledger-Walker dropped 48.
There's a little 48, and I heard she was injured, so.
Good basket, Riley Huaki.
Beautiful play and finish there by Georgia. Riley Huaki.
21-4. It's been a long quarter for Hamilton. They've got a lot to talk about and a lot to work on when we head into quarter time. Hey, don't forget, coming up after this, if you love your secondary school nationals basketball, AA boys coming to you live. And I've got to tell you, you won't be able to see him, folks, but I've been sitting next to him. He is a little bit nervous up here, champing at the bit for this big game, Casey, you are. St Kitts and Rosmini, Battle of the Bridge, it's going to be on.
It's exciting basketball. I think anytime you get a team like St. Kitts that's played so well this season and really dominated Rosmini when they've seen each other, it's going to be exciting. It's one thing to beat a team 3 times. I mean, it's much harder to beat them 4 straight. So very difficult task ahead for St. Kitts.
Reese Anderson on a drive, looking for some late points here in the first. Here's Walker Pittman. Good delivery outside. Walker Ekatoni, well done. Right on the buzzer, and maybe, just maybe, Casey, that's the confidence that this Hamilton team needs going into this first break. You love that sort of stuff when you're searching just for something.
Always great to end on a high note. After all that was said and done, you look up at the scoreboard, you say, look, we played as poorly as we could play. You look up top, we're down 15. 15 is doable. We can get back into it if we start playing at a higher level.
Well, we've seen that margin dragged back in so many times this week. It's been a big one. This is day 6, but it is the business end of the 2019 SHIC Championships. The AA Girls Final, the gold medal game is underway. St. Peter's lead 22-7 over Hamilton. Quick break. We'll look at the stats right after this.
Tukaha.
It means stand strong. To the great challenges we face. To stand strong with our brothers and sisters.
With our families and our communities.
With our supporters. With those who lift us up to take on the world.
It's the name of our haka.
Tāringa whakarongo kia amo.
Stand strong.
Stand with us.
Tukaha, New Zealand.
Welcome back to the SHIC Championships, the secondary schools nationals from the lovely city of Palmerston North. Justin Nelson and Casey Frank with you. Quarter time, St. Peter's lead. The AA Girls gold medal decider, 22-7. Some early stats and some interesting stats, Casey.
Yeah, most definitely. 7 points in the first quarter. Leading the way is Ella Bradley for St. Pete's, but I think the most intriguing thing we looked at there was the rebound count in quarter one. 21 rebounds to St. Peter's in the first quarter, 11 of those offensive, more on the offensive end than the defense. But poor Hamilton Girls High School only able to corral 3 rebounds in total.
1 to 3, that is what you call cleaning the glass
over
and over and over again.
And that has led to a big shot discrepancy, 3 for 14 from the field for Hamilton Girls High School. St. Peter's on the other hand, 9 for 22, so 8 more shots off those offensive glass rebounds.
Good start. Andrew's been down with the coaches at quarter time. What did they have to say, Andrew?
I was listening to Coach Leanne Walker. She was stressing defensive communication, so even though they only give up 7 points, she still feels they can do a better job.
You love to hear that from a coach, don't you?
Coaches are the worst. Coaches, you see a near perfect defensive quarter. We're up 15. Well, all they give you is, well, we could do better.
We could have done better. That's exactly right. Just underway in the second quarter.
Now, speaking to Coach Leanne Walker before the game, you could see, as we see a foul there, on number 9, Ella Bradley. Just get with the foot, but she was focused, man. She was locked in. She was a little bit perturbed that the interview wasn't going off exactly when it was supposed to. She showed up at 1:45 and was like, "No, I've got a meeting at 2." The mic wasn't there. There's a couple of issues, technical difficulties that I had to keep apologizing for.
Bit of Greg Popovich there.
A little bit.
Right, okay. Hamilton looking to reduce this 15-point margin at the moment. Walker Ekatoni, loose ball came off Anderson. Away they go. Charlize, nice little pass. Now, people won't understand how hard just a simple little pass like that. She makes it look simple just to get it into the path of her running partner.
Yeah, she's a brilliant passer with the ball. As we see a fast break opportunity go wanting for Hamilton girls once again, but that is the most impressive part of Charlize Ledger-Walker's game is getting her teammates involved with a deft touch.
Yeah, I agree. We spoke about it in the first quarter. We've seen it early in this one as well. Just a lack of finishing by St. Peter's at the rim, and they could actually be out by a fair bit more at the moment.
Nice pass.
Yeah, Lewis, very, very good off to the run of Walker Pittman. She's an active player, River Walker Pittman, going at 20 points a game. Kaha Lewis at nearly 14 points a game herself in this competition.
Did it with the pass there, the no look for 2.
Jennings lost a handle on it. Yeah. All black singlets. They're off again. Walker Pittman, Charlize, the cousins. Good battle. We found that out yesterday. Paternal grandfather, I think it was.
Sounds like the basketball gene stayed strong in that family.
No doubt about that. I'm sure the grandfather was a bit of a hooper. Let's have a look here. Walker Pittman, nice little pull-up. Nice technique too.
Yeah, that's excellent with the jab step to shake the defender. The space opened up and really calm and collected. Gets her team into double digits. Cuts the deficit to 11.
We saw River score 43 yesterday, and some of the play was just sublime. Good rebound, good putback. Ella Bradley, how influential has Ella Bradley been early in this game?
Well, she's finishing everything down low, really scoring at a high percentage rate, 3 for 4 from the field, but dominant on the glass as well.
Here's Walker Pittman. In and out of trouble, Anderson on the wing. Bounce pass, looked like a hard one for Walker Pittman. She made it look easy in the end, and a nice little floater on the runner. And she scores again. Look out.
Her confidence is picking up exponentially here in the second quarter, looking much more comfortable.
Well, her entire team's looking a little bit more comfortable too. Starting to find their feet as Jennings just backs it out. She'll start it up. Maybe she'll go it alone. No, Charlize looks good off the hand. We're right behind that case here. Nothing but net.
So calm, so collected. 5 points for her now. Hasn't had a great shooting night, but 1 for 4. But that one looked pretty there.
And if she gets going, look out. Walker Pittman closed down, double teamed by Alana Paiwai, and coming in to assist was Charlize Ledger-Walker.
How about Charlize has 9 rebounds already as well.
Incredible. She works so hard.
5 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, stuffing the stat sheet.
That's a good start, and that's a good shot. Well done to Walker Ekatoni. And they're starting to find some points.
They're playing with a lot more freedom. The defense has dipped slightly for St. Peter's. You can see why Coach Walker was really on them to keep to that perfection.
There's another long, well, it's just raining threes right now. JC Lee Waihi. And that's 3 in a row, my friend.
It's looking good for him. We see the steal as well.
How nice was that? Alana Paiwai. That's a strip right there.
Well, just when the Hamilton girls were starting to get a little bit closer, the defense kicks it up. The offense takes it to another level, and all of a sudden they're doubled up on the score sheet again.
Might have to call Alana the thief. Just came out of nowhere. Nice turnaround jumper. So we're starting to see this game open up as Lewis drops a nice little 10-footer, 32-18, midway through the second.
Yeah, when Hamilton Girls High School shows patience offensively, when they don't get rushed, when they don't hurry themselves, they've been much more successful. Even when they're sticking to a lot of that one-on-one basketball, they haven't let the offense do a ton of the work for them. But a lot of that is because of this pressure from the St. Peter's defense.
Well, it's been a 16-12 run by Hamilton since that 20-2 start by St. Peter's. So they are finding their touch now, and just as I say that, a loose possession, although they will get another shot out of it, and it is raining points at the moment. Sydney Neal with the deep 2, and they've got it back again. Chance. This would be big. Timeout coming? You'd think so. There it is, as River Walker Pittman receives from Kahoa Lewis, and look out, it's back to 10.
Kahoa Ayatoa Lewis does a nice job defensively finding her teammates, trailing after that one, and just like that, 10-point ball game. Hamilton girls playing with some confidence and getting a couple of steals as well.
20-12 run.
Really impressive to keep their heads up after a dreadful start there in the first quarter, but still playing with a lot of heart, a lot of pride, and right back in this ball game.
Well, I've been teaching everybody here throughout this week. I've brought a couple of Australianisms with me.
Boo.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Casey. And one of them is G&D. Do you know what G&D stands for? Surely you do. It's not a drink, by the way. Guts and determination. And we've seen a little bit of that, haven't we, so far this quarter? Just digging deep, Hamilton, and they're right back in it.
Well, this is a game for a national championship, and right now you're looking at a team that could have rolled over and died and just said, oh, you know what, this is a dynasty. This is the best player in the country we're playing against. We can't do anything to stop him. But instead, after that first quarter where they're really in a hole, they've turned it around. They found some enthusiasm. The defense in particular has really stepped up, and they found a way to penetrate what was a fantastic first quarter defense, but has dipped ever so slightly here in the second.
Coming to you from the Fly Palmy Arena in Palmerston North on the North Island. It's the Schick Championships, the secondary schools nationals. Gold medal up for grabs as Charlize takes a heavy foul from Lewis.
Well, nice play there. Pretty simple UCLA cut, but Charlize Ledger-Walker uses it very nicely. Nice tempo coming off of it, setting up the defender, making sure that she gets screened, taking her time on the catch to make sure if she doesn't make the bucket, she gets fouled and heads to the line where she is now.
How big is it for this young star starting for the Sky Sport Tall Ferns last week in the Asia Cup? She's getting a start.
It's having been as we see, another offensive rebound for St. Peter's, having been around the Tall Blacks, which some of the young players when they got their start, Rob Lowe when he was 17, Ty Webster when he was 17, Isaac Fotu as well, were all guys that were very young with their first chance on the team. And as we see another triple, but getting thrown into the fire is a great thing at an early age. You're not there to come along for the ride. If you're on the team, you're there because we thought you were good enough. And when you get that start, I think it makes it all the more real.
And I know Coach Malloy, he doesn't just hand out starts to anybody.
Definitely does not. He was trying to win the game, and he thought that was the best way to do it.
Here she is right now, Charlize Ledger-Walker, ball on the floor. Big steps to the hoop and rolls it in. Soft touch off the left. Good basket.
And taking what the defense gives her. They're playing her to the strong right hand. She rips right through and finishes with aplomb at the rim.
Now, keep an eye out here. Just for Hamilton's number 8, Key Walker Ekatoni, just a bit of a heat check. She's hit a couple of big outside shots in this quarter. Here she is now with the ball handing over to Walker Pittman.
And she's come off the bench and brought her team some nice hot shooting. Does it come again?
Little floater on this occasion. Can't put it away, a little bit deep. And she paddles back after it though, and she's won her team the ball back. Gutsy stuff by the Hamilton guard. They can't finish off though. St. Peter's will come forward.
Well, when they're getting in the key and they're not coming to a jump stop, they're a little bit out of control and forcing some difficult passes leading to turnovers.
So St. Peter's, inside ball. Just trying to find the outstretched hand of Dominic Stevens. who was also very good in the semi-final. Now, speaking of finals, earlier today, bronze medal game in the AA girls, St Mary's Ponsonby defeated Westlake. So they are the bronze medalists for the AA girls. Big shot here. Deep three from Leith is a miss. And the bronze medal game for the boys, Mont Albert Grammar Mags defeated Kashmir. So bronze medals already been won earlier today.
It's a huge deal for both those schools as well. Those are the highest finishes that they've ever had.
Yep.
Been talking to Jody, coaching Ponsonby, of course, really pleased with how the committee's come around her. And Daryl Cartwright, a former teammate, coach for Mags, he's really pleased with how his team played.
And what does it say for girls and women's basketball in the mid-north to have these two teams through to the championship decider?
And it says a lot for the Waikato. And
absolutely.
Ooh, what a pick of the pocket there. Finishes as well. Wyatt Jennings. Impressive defense finishing to the offensive end as well.
Big steal. And good points back the other way. Lewis, took the body and then turned around, had some space and said, why not?
Well, that's that patience, coming to that jump stop in the key, giving yourself some more options and not letting the defense dictate what you're going to do.
12-point margin. Paiwai with some space on the jumper. And it is raining points in this second quarter.
The classic stop and pop there. Gave her a little bit of light, and she took advantage, drilling the mid-ranger.
Some players have seriously got their eye in.
Well, they played enough basketball this week. They should be pretty locked in.
They have certainly played enough basketball. It has been non-stop. It's a big program for all of these players. And yet another basket. Sydney Neal, she's hit a couple in this quarter.
Going from deep, coming inside, gets the runner to go for her there.
41-29. Loose ball and a real battle down there. You love to see that.
Ball stays with St. Peter's of Cambridge with just under 47 seconds left. 46.9 on the scoreboard in here. 47 on the screens of home.
That's pretty close.
Tenths of a second.
Give or take.
It's right there.
We'll let you count that one down yourself.
I always do.
Ball comes in. Now Charlize wants it inside. She's got a couple to beat. Turnaround jumper's nice, just elevating over the top of Sydney Neal.
I just really appreciate the pace that she plays at. She's never hurried, always looks confident.
There's been a lot of baskets this quarter so far. How many more will there be in the final 30 seconds? Ella Bradley passing forward. Waihi inside looking for Stevens. Loose ball. And a foul.
River Walker Pittman, excellent defense, essentially playing 1-on-3 on that fast break. Makes the right decision to force what becomes a turnover and gaining her team an all-important final possession of the second quarter with 16 seconds left. Can they cut it back down to 12?
Well, you want it to be a final possession, don't you? You certainly don't want to give, you don't want to give St. Peter's another chance here. There's about 11 seconds to go. Smart player with the ball, Walker Pittman. She'll know the time. Good drive, good block, equally. Big stuff from Charlize Ledger-Walker, thumping that one away off the hands of Sydney Neal.
Found it with two hands. The double-handed deny, showing the defensive ability to go with all that offensive talent.
Well, you've already talked about the stat sheet, and she just finds a way to do everything.
Up to 13 rebounds now.
Oh, wow. Hamilton looking for a late score. They will get a shot up, and it won't drop for Kiani Leith. So that's an interesting first half because St. Peter's dominated the first quarter, and Hamilton came hard in that second term. But at the half, it's 43-29. St. Peter's going for 4 titles in 5 years. They lead the way. Coming to you on Sky Sport, the 2019 Schick Championships. We'll have a look at the all-important halftime stats right after this.
Girls Got Game is a fun and friendly program designed specifically for girls.
And it's coached by all female coaches in schools and local associations.
We want more girls to be more involved with the game, and the female game is already on the rise, but we want to get more females on the court.
Basically what we're trying to do is teach the fundamentals such as shooting, ball handling, passing, defensive skills, but along the way teaching girls how to have fun, come together, and then getting as many girls as we can in the game of basketball.
Girls that want to get involved in the program just need to contact their local basketball association to get started. So I started playing when I was 6 at the Clendon Rec Centre, like mini ball kind of thing. So my parents, they played, and all my siblings played, my brothers and my sisters, so it was kind of an expectation sort of thing for me to play and like pick up basketball fairly quickly, you know, which I kind of did. I really enjoyed it. Like as soon as I started playing, I found it really fun, really competitive, which is probably my favorite thing, is the competitiveness. I started at Hutch at my junior college, and I played there for 2 years. I got a lot of Division I offers out of that, and I ended up going to Brigham Young University and played for another 2 years, and a lot of good experience out of both of those, you know, under different coaches in short periods of times and learning how to adjust. I am now going into my first professional season with the Melbourne Boomers. For the girls who really want to aspire to go and play at a high level, one thing that people kind of tend to forget a lot of the time, I think, is how hard you have to work beforehand. You know, it's not just all up to your talent, like you actually have to put in like hard work and time and effort into developing your skill, because it's a different kind of ball game over in America.
Welcome back to the Secondary Schools Nationals for 2019, the Schick Championships. Hope you're enjoying it. AA Girls gold medal game between St Peters and Hamilton. It's the former St Peters leading at halftime by 14. They are a dominant force in girls secondary basketball in this country. Of course, winners of this title in 2015, 2016, 2018. Hamilton back to 2012 for the one and only time they have won this prestigious award. Good to see the crowd in here early. Of course, we've got AA boys coming up after this, the gold medal game, and that will be a beauty. We're going to talk more about that one in a moment. St Kitts and Rosmini. Justin Nelson and Casey Frank with you. Casey, some of the stats, and at the moment, there's one player in particular that's standing out, my friend.
Not surprised, her name is Charlize.
Yes.
A fantastic first half, 6 for 9 from the field, 4 for 7 from 2, 2 for 2 from behind the arc for 15 points to go along with 13 rebounds, 6 of which are offensive, pacing her team in that department. 3 assists, 2 steals, and the block. Stat stuffer all around. Fantastic first couple of quarters for her.
Well, she looks set for a double or thereabouts.
Keep it going. Get as many of those doubles in there as you can.
And I think it's a 31-7 win on the glass at the moment too over Hamilton. But Hamilton did come back. They fought back hard that quarter. They won the quarter.
No, they certainly couldn't have rolled over and just gone away to die. That is not what happened. They picked up the effort. They started playing with a little bit more confidence offensively, and started making, when they made that extra pass, they were ready to shoot. They weren't as timid as they were at the start of the game. I think you could see looking at that this possibly was a team that came in and was like, maybe didn't have that self-belief. But you spend a quarter on the court with the other team, and y'all realize, well, we can beat them. These are just girls just like us. We can get it done. Picked up the pace on the offensive end in particular. Those rebounds, certainly an issue. Certainly an issue. They're going to have to do some work on there. But they're not out of touch distance. Yes, 14 points. They can turn around quickly with some of the shooting that they have.
Now, some scary news for the future because of course, Charlize is in her last year and she's had a dominant secondary schools career. But some scary news for the future. I believe there's yet another Ledger Walker on the way. Andrew Horrocks is down courtside. Andrew, tell us a little bit about the younger Ledger Walker still to come through the schooling system.
Yeah, you'll see her sitting on the bench. She's at the front. Tanika Ledger Walker, definitely a name to watch for in the future.
And at the moment, what year is she in school?
Year 9, I'm led to believe.
Okay. Well, we're definitely going to see some more Ledger Walkers over the next few years, Casey.
Well, that's an exciting prospect for St. Peter's. A scary prospect for possibly
everybody else, everyone else.
Sometimes it can be difficult to be the youngest sibling behind some basketball talent like that. But hopefully she's got the same affinity and passion for the game that Charlize has as well.
I've always heard the youngest is the best.
It can go quite often. You know, you got that youngest sibling always trying to get up to the bigger ones and being not quite as big, not quite as strong. By the time he gets to the same age, they've picked up a lot of the skills, a lot of the knowledge, and then got the strength to go with it.
Well, you look at the Sky Sport Tall Ferns captain Kalani Purcell. She had some unbelievable older sisters, didn't she? She got no doubt knocked around as a kid, and look how she's come through.
Having played with Charmaine, actually I played with her in a Wednesday night league team on the shore in the Open Men's Premier League, where she was pretty dominant.
Who got more shots, you or her?
Oh, definitely her. She was the shooter. I was just trying to set her up. But there Natalie as well. Natalie Taylor has been a great player for the Tall Ferns for years, and
still playing.
Certainly, yeah. The Purcell talent has kept the Tall Ferns afloat many times in the past decade and a half or so.
No doubt. Now, coming up after this game, AA boys, the championship decider, and the two favourites have got through. And I've got to tell you, this just looks like just a matchup for all time. It looks like it'll just live up to all expectations. St. Kent's, who finished third last year, take on Rosmini, who finished first last year. If Rosmini win tonight, it's a three-peat for them and Coach Matthew Lacey. There's so many stories to tell with these two matchups. The one that I like is under 23 Nationals. Not too long ago, the two coaches, Aaron Young and Matthew Lacey, were playing on the same team. They're teammates.
Yeah, they are teammates. They go way back with Harbor Reps basketball as well. There's two young fellas who came up playing the game on the shore, and now are passing that on to the next generation. And certainly there'll be some bragging rights that they'd like to get in within that friendship group. But it's going to be an interesting game. Coach Aaron Young has had the upper hand throughout the season with St. Kent's beating them three times.
Okay.
They've played 3 times so far this year, and they've beaten them 3 times. But I feel like Rosmini feels like their time is coming. They're playing their best basketball here at the tournament that they've played all year long. Not having had their full team for the entirety of the season hasn't seemed to affect them. Obviously, Tane Murray going away with the Tall Blacks for a bit of time. That's difficult right in the midst of the season to lose a player of that import and then to try and fold him back into things without losing any kind of the rhythm that you've built up throughout the season is a difficult task, in particular for a young coach.
And there's some players to watch in this game. The two guards for St. Kent's, Caslow Evans and Alex McNaught, have been brilliant during this competition. Shalom Broughton, who is just a tank. He's so strong. He wears contact. He finishes hard. 26 points a game in this competition. Was in the all-tournament team last year. He'll definitely be there this year. Maybe MVP. He looks like a big star of the future.
Well, coming down, I was texting some of my friends who I knew were down here watching the tournament, and everything that kept coming back to me about Shalom was athletic.
Yep.
This guy is an athlete. He can really play the game, and helping to carry his team to the finals helps prove that.
And if he goes off in that game, I mean, Rosmini have got some big problems. Equally, though, Rosmini have got plenty of stars. They're a very deep and even team. They've got some royalty, of course. Jaden Boucher, so Dylan will be in the stands watching. Tane Murray, tell us about him.
Just a fantastic player who really, still got a couple years left in high school. But his talent, his ability, and his speed is just really impressive. I think not a huge player, not the most amazing athlete you'll ever see, but certainly quick, strong, and his time with the Tall Blacks has really lifted his mental game up another level or two.
Going at 23 points a game this week.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I'll take that every day of the week. We're underway in the second half here. AA girls gold medal decider between St. Peter's and Hamilton.
Hamilton almost got an offensive rebound there. I was cheering for him.
Well, they've been searching for one. Just one.
Just
In fact,
one.
they might
Just
have
get
one.
us to one.
More than 800 players here this week. It's a huge contingency that has come into Palmerston North. All the coaches, officials, nearly 60 referees. If there was anybody in the community at all that was looking for a white 12-seater van, you had no hope. Absolutely none.
Vans go quick. Vans go quick.
No score to add in this third period. There may be now as Ella Bradley goes out to Charlize Ledger-Walker, fouled on the way.
Hamilton girls, they do all the work, but they just can't secure the glass.
Can't take the rebound.
The tenacity of St. Peter's on the boards has just been impressive to watch. And it's not all 5 players going every play. They're very opportunistic. If somebody thinks they have it, but they go hard. That one player will go so hard at the glass and continual second chance opportunities.
I think Charlize has just primed herself for a big, big final now. She spent the best part of the first quarter just getting her teammates into the game, Casey, but since then, it has been a wrecking ball attitude from Charlize. Shot clock sounding, basket won't count. That time, better defense by Hamilton. That second quarter by Charlize, it really was that wrecking ball mentality, wasn't it? What did you say? She's up to 13, 14 rebounds. She just added a point from the charity stripe. I think she's got 16 in the game now. 44 plays 29.
Yeah, not too bad. It's still looking at the stats here, they haven't added that free throw yet, but 15 and 13 at this point as we see another nice drive.
Nice ball skills as well by Keani Leith. Changing it up.
Still hanging around, our Hamilton girls.
They are, and I like that because there's so many things that haven't gone right for them in this game, and if they can start to get a bit of a run on, and we saw it at times in the second, they could actually cause a few worrying signs. Walker Pittman battling.
A great place to trap. They could pull it off. Strong play there to get through.
Yeah, Paiwai did well in the end. Look out, because you don't want to give up those 8-foot jumpers to the red number 5, Charlize Ledger-Walker, because she'll make you pay nearly every time. They're trapped in the corner here, and look out, it's another one. That hurts. Wayata Jennings.
Well, every time they do all the work and continually get back into the game, St. Peter's just comes up with a quick, easy basket.
Well, you want to talk about dominance through this competition. The spread of points, number 4, Alana Paiwai goes at 12.5 points a game. Wayata Jennings, the number 7, goes at 16.7 points a game. The number 9, Ella Bradley, goes at 15 points a game. Dominique Stevens, the number 15, who we haven't seen a lot of in this game, goes at nearly 13 points a game. And I haven't even mentioned Charlize Ledger-Walker.
That's a lot of points. That's well spread out. The son of a very deep team.
Long ball from Charlize. Can't put that one away. It's a 17-point margin. A couple of back-to-back baskets by St. Peter's have just opened it back up. Little short corner jumper by Lewis. Rolled around, in and out. And they bring it back quickly, don't they? Hard to the basket. Paiwai knocked clear by Lewis. It's been an improvement for Hamilton this year. They finished 5th last year, Casey, at this competition. So they're either going to finish 1st or 2nd. So that's a rise up the rankings.
And a school that's in search of some new funding. They desperately need a new gym. Speaking to the coach and principal briefly before the game, it's on that list of agenda to reward these players for their great play with a court that befits their skill level.
Well, let's make it happen because, of course, basketball is booming at a junior level. We're seeing our national leagues get more and more exposure. We're seeing our national teams get more and more exposure. At secondary school, fastest growing number 1 sport. Everybody's getting out and picking up a basketball.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be around the game. It's certainly a long time coming for some of the basketball fans and players around the country.
And as a former player, I know you're still running around on Wednesday night, so I won't take that away from you as Lewis hits a basket for Hamilton. How good is it to see that next generation coming through? Because there's some quality skills.
Well, it really doesn't mean anything if we're unable to pass on the knowledge that we get to the next crew. You know, the whole goal, I think one of my great enjoyments of being around the Tall Blacks and being around the national teams in this country is how much that next generation really means to them, and how much the previous generation would come and talk to us. And it's certainly something that all the basketball players are looking at, and even if they're not able to be on the court every day teaching those kids, when the opportunity does present itself, they're always there if they're able to.
Great clear out to give Ledger Walker on the inbound. She actually made the inbound pass and everyone cleared out. She just stepped into the key, got it back and scored, and they've stripped again and they're coming again. Yeah. Jennings will hold it up.
Excellent X's and O's, but also great footwork.
Well, there's
Chris
Dominique
Walker.
Stevens inside.
Dominique Stevens.
We've spoken about her. She has gone at nearly 13 points a game. She's a great target inside. They actually haven't played her too much in this game. She played very well in the semi-final. 52-33 now. And here they come again, St. Peter's. Great pass, Ledger Walker. Nowhere to go. Waihi, Ledger Walker takes it back. She actually looked out to pass then.
She looked the defense off, took the option that Fischel thought she was best. Unable to make it, but they're in trouble. They need to get it after the court quickly, and they are able to do it.
Here's Walker Pittman. She needs to keep going hard here. She does. She scores. If they can get the ball to River, she's a proven scorer in this team. 20 points a game in this competition, 43 in the semi-final.
Well, 12 for her now in the game. So she's one of the bright lights for Hamilton girls. The only double-figure scorer at the moment. Key Walker Ekatoni just behind her with 9.
So substitution coming in for the Hamilton girls. Now, of course, we're in Palmerston North. Just before I get to that, let's watch this inbound play again, because this may replicate exactly what we've just seen. So maybe the ball up high here. Oh, straight through the middle. Where did that come from? Jennings off the glass for 2. No one guarding her.
Well, I think Georgia Riley-Huka read the play and was trying to deny that pass up high, but because it was so spread out for the inbounder to come in and post up, that has a wide open lane for the cut, well read and well passed by St. Peter's.
Now, you've been working hard on a show that I'm thoroughly enjoying midweek on Sky Sport, talking all things basketball, and of course a big season coming up for the Breakers. Oh, look at that for a pass. Ledger Walker
so
to
good.
JC Lee Waihi.
Man, the way she draws the defense in with a shot fake, it's just a lot of these skills don't belie her years. She's got a lot of basketball knowledge in that frame of hers.
Pleasure to watch. Talking about courtside, of course, every Wednesday night. Great step back by Walker Pittman. Battles after it again and wins on this occasion for Hamilton. Now, the man you appear on that show with, Hugh Bainan, is always talking up Palmerston North and, of course, the Manawatu Jets in the Sal's NBL. This is his part of the country.
And he chose not to come, so maybe he's not really being truthful. No, he's on his way to the States to cover the Breakers as they play 2 NBA games against 2 NBA teams. But
yeah, that's big.
Yeah, the first part of New Zealand that Hugh initially came to was down here in Palmerston North as a young man, and developed a fondness with him that he has not been able to get out.
Oh, he stays loyal. Don't worry about that.
He definitely does.
He's always talking about Palmy North.
He's got 2 main topics of conversation: Palmerston North, how great it is, and how great the Sacramento Kings are.
Well, the second one we can't do too much about. He's probably had more luck out of Palmerston North than the Sacramento Kings over the years. Anyway, that may change in the future for the Kings. We'll wait and see. Here's Stevens. Oh, good work just to hold it up for a moment. Let everything clear out. She got to the basket.
Excellent patience for a center there. And showing nice footwork to finish with that offhand.
I'll tell you who's hit a couple of these, and I'll tell you who's now hit 3. Walker Ekatoni from long range for Hamilton. 3 threes in the game for her.
Yeah, nice shooting once again. She's getting that stroke going.
Should be closing in on
12
double
points
digits.
overall
There
for
you
her.
go. Yeah. St. Peter's. Oh, errant pass on that occasion by McGirt. May have just come off a hand, in fact.
The score sheet is an 18-point deficit right now, but solid effort for Hamilton girls. And
well, the way it looked early.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they've essentially been able to hold court since that point.
Shot clock's ticking down. They've got it back. Walker Pittman.
She's had a heck of a ball game.
She's a very good play. Gets it back now. She'll go to the basket here. Step around and in. Easy as you like.
Impressive patience. I thought she might have gotten away with the travel, but it matters not. On the step through, off the glass, freezing the defense.
Heading down to the last couple of minutes of this third quarter. AA girls championship decider. That is deep, Casey.
Rangy. And Alana Pagwea really putting her entire body into that one.
Wow.
And she had to fling it up.
Next stop, the car park. That was big. In fact, there is one stop between here and the car park. It's called the canteen. 61-42. Of course, you flew in this morning, this fantastic Fly Palmy arena. How was the flight?
Very nice. Nice and easy coming down. Left was a pretty sunny Auckland and got to a not so sunny Palmy.
That doesn't happen often. It's sunny in Auckland.
It doesn't. So to have to leave it was like, oh no, not today. But
speaking like an adopted Wellingtonian.
It's probably changed since I got on the plane anyway.
Do you know? Speaking of plane flights, I moved to Wellington, moved to New Zealand earlier this year, as you know. And when the news came out in Australia that I was making the move, a friend of mine sent me an email. And the email had 12 photos. That was it. 12 photos of planes landing at Wellington. Oh, foul there? Yes, there was. How's the finish by Ledger Walker?
So quick with the handle. Able to freeze that defense and create just enough space to get that shot off. And the contact doesn't even bother her as she finishes that one. Putting together a heck of a ball game. Up to 20 points now.
It's incredible. There was certainly some interesting angles in those 12 photos.
Yeah, Wellington is
it's a unique place.
Having spent a few seasons with the Saints and flying into that airport.
Fun times.
It is not always the most ideal.
Heading down towards three-quarter time. Andrew Horrocks on the sidelines for us. We'll be down listening to the coaches at three-quarter time, see what they've got to say. Gold medal at the moment, though. Looking the way. Oh, St. Peter's, but just as I say that, Reese Anderson comes up with a deep three, brings it back to 18.
Sticking around, hanging around.
Bodies colliding and crashing as Alana Paiwai goes through hard. Jennings getting a break as JC Lee Waihi steps back onto the floor. And off they go, Reese Anderson quickly up the floor. The two number 4s doing battle. What was your favourite number to play in, by the way?
I got 43 when I was 12, and it never changed again.
Good basket. Drawing the foul, Walker Ekatoni will go to the line for a bonus.
A strong move to the glass, through the contact, and finishing. I really like the aggressiveness of the Hamilton girls when they go to the hole, when they're penetrating and forcing that defense to react. When they're passive, looking for the jump shots on the perimeter, just not finding as much success as the lead gets chipped down to 15.
I think Walker Ekatoni's up to, 15 in the game now. She's had a very good game.
And she's playing very solidly. That one will get her up to 15.
There you go.
And 5 for 9 from the field as well.
Charlize Ledger Walker out to the wing. McGurr now gets it over to Stevens. Now they come up high. Can they finish off with a basket? Of course they can. Alana Paiwai says, why not?
They are not fussed by the shot clock going down. This is a well-coached team that's playing excellently under any kind of pressure.
Well, Hamilton may have just given up the last shot of the quarter there, because with 6.4 to play, Charlize Ledger Walker will take control. Or will she? Yes, she will. Doubles back, takes possession. A few seconds to go. Let's see what she can do. Watch this. Step back three is a little bit too deep. So at three-quarter time, Casey, it's looking like the dynasty will continue at the Schick Championships. There they are. They are gunning for 4 titles in 5 years, and everything looking good right now. They lead at three-quarter time, 65-48. Stick with us. Back with more after this. Welcome back to the 2019 Schick Championships, the secondary schools nationals. 71 teams, 62 schools, more than 800 players, mums and dads, grandmas and grandpas. Hey, big half-court shot at three-quarter time.
You might not have seen it, but trust me,
It was good.
it went in. You can hear the crowd hyped up about that one.
I think she's about to put a Hamilton girls singlet on. She might play this last quarter if she can drop a couple of those.
I think she's already taken.
They're in business.
She's got some school colors from someone else there. I can't quite see from up here.
Oh, that was big. Hey, we're going to look at some stats in a moment. Let's go straight down to Andrew Horrocks. He's been listening in to the coaches at three-quarter time. Andrew, what do you got?
For Leanne Walker, it's making sure that they match up correctly defensively, even though they're up 17. For Hamilton girls, they need to fight hard, make sure they secure every rebound, and then get out and run.
Good on you, Andrew. Thanks for all the work you're doing down there. Some stats, Casey.
Well, a dominant performance from Charlize Ledger-Walker. 22 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, a block, 4 turnovers, but really dominant. 2 other double-digit scorers for the St. Peter's, Waiata Jennings and Alana Pawai, sitting on 10 and 11 respectively. Nobody else on the team has more than 9, and that's Ella Bradley. For Hamilton Girls High School, really stoked by 2 players, Key Walker Ekatoni and Riva Walker Pittman, sitting on 15 and 16 respectively, leading the way. Nobody else with more than 6, but it's the rebounds that's really hurting this team right now. 42 to 10.
Wow.
Is the rebound count.
Well, Reese Anderson's just dropped a big 3 to start the quarter for Hamilton, and I was going to say they're back to 14, but as quick as I looked up at the scoreboard, it's flicked over another 2 because Charlize Ledger-Walker continues her dominance of this contest.
That's a pretty good safety net to be able to fall into every once in a while for a coach and a team.
Everybody would love that sort of safety net. Well, it looks like they're going to go long to start this quarter, Hamilton. It's at 16. Now setting screen, Charlize Ledger-Walker. Loose ball, though. She's going to have to do the chasing and the defending on Sydney Neal. It's coming now. She's already hit one this quarter. Wow. Reese Anderson lighting it up for Hamilton.
Reese Anderson feeling good. Slinging it up there. Cuts at the 13. And this Hamilton girls team's got alligator blood. Hanging around.
Off the glass. How nice was that, Ella Bradley?
Well, she jumps into double digits now with some fancy footwork underneath the rim.
Reese Anderson. Hard after the ball. Somehow kept that in. I don't know how she did that. Lewis. Oh, go up again. Reese Anderson. Why not? Oh. Looking for 3 out of 3 to start this last quarter. That would have made it interesting.
It's not far away. There are a couple of stops and some defensive pressure from just clawing their way back in.
Uh-oh. Ledger-Walker couldn't put it away on that occasion. Walker Ekatoni, she's had a good game. Here's Anderson again. Over to Walker Pittman on the wing now. Lewis. Oh, has a loose player. Walker Ekatoni forces the drive and the shot. Somehow gets it back. Quick, mark that rebound down. They needed that.
They've got a couple offensive rebounds, surprisingly, and that went for another one there.
Well, the 2 cousins going at it heavily.
They've got a chance for a turnover here if they break the press so well. To St. Peter's.
Out on the wing now. What can they do? You'd expect it'll come up well. They've played a great game, St. Peter's. Out by 15. Headed towards a gold medal, a national title, a 4th in 5 years. It's amazing. What a run. There's Lewis stepping back and around. Nice finish.
Great footwork there. Coming to that jump stop, and once the defense shifted past her, changing her direction with that little step through baby hook.
Nice finish. I'm just going to put myself on repeat on spin cycle. Nice finish.
Once again, nice footwork. Came to the jump stop, stepped through to defenders to get that layup there.
Waihi, very good. Now, Lewis is getting a bit of it, and there's that footwork on display again. Couldn't put it away. Walker Pittman with the rebound. Well, Lewis is going to go from downtown. Why not? Why not, Casey? Why not?
Keep it going. No, there's no reason why not to when you're shooting like that.
Back to 12.
Still there.
They are still there. It's a battle off a miss. They come up with it, the team in black. Hamilton away. Can they get it down to single digits? Who would have thought? Walker Pittman, the 2 number 7s. Nice hesitation. Goes all the way to the hoop on our opposite number. Way out to Jennings, and there's a timeout all of a sudden. Game on. Pressure on St. Peter's. Hamilton get it back to 10.
This is a fired up team, and as they should be, they're able to find some rhythm offensively, put a lot of pressure. What a move there.
Let's have a look at this again.
Up and under.
Just a nice hesitation. Watch this.
Really
just hesitates there and goes.
Completely froze her by getting her to think she was going to go for the handoff, and just jets right by the defender for that finish. And this is the closest they've been since it was 10-zip.
Well, I didn't think after the opening 3 minutes of the game, maybe the opening 2 minutes of the game, I never thought we'd be in a position where St. Peter's would be forced to call a timeout.
And the second one of the game for Coach Leanne Walker. She's called one early, and she's putting a lot of pressure on this team to perform well, and I guess it's because she knows what Hamilton girls is capable of.
Well, they're starting to show their class, Hamilton. They're starting to show why they're here. Let's not forget, it's been a big, big week. They've had a lot to do just to get here, but they are showing why they're here. Let's go down to Andrew Horrocks. He's been listening into Leanne Walker. Lead is cut to 10. What's the message, Andrew?
Coach Leanne Walker, all she's stressing at the moment, defensive communication. They need to improve that. Otherwise, Hamilton girls will come back in this game.
Well, they've come back in all right. The lead is cut to 10. St. Peter's would want to come out of that timeout and get a score here.
Definitely. Question is, what are they going to run to get it?
This is Caleb Waihi. Jennings. Charlize Ledger. Walker up short, gets after it, gets her own rebound.
Well-designed play, getting the Charlize Ledger Walker that penetrating lane on the left side. She just rips through, gets right to the rim, doesn't finish, but such a strong rebounder, able to get her team another possession.
What a matchup that is, Charlize and River. The number 5 and the number 7, they've just moved off each other now. Skipping through, Paiwai going up, missing Bradley. They come up with it, Hamilton. So they're going to get a chance to bring it back into single digits. It's in good hands. River, Walker, Pittman, short.
Well, she created a great lane there, but the weak side of the defense stepped up early and forced it difficult to make in between jump shot.
Paiwai, Ledger Walker, Waihi. Oh, one dribble pickup, coach killer. Jennings, one way, then the other, open, Ledger Walker from deep. No, doesn't make it. Rebound contest. Well done, Ella Bradley. Ledger Walker coming from the clouds, finishes off.
Man, it's a difficult finish when she's not quite on balance, and without traveling, finds the 2 steps and the finish.
That stat sheet is ticking over, twisting, turning. Lewis couldn't finish at the hoop. Red ball, St. Peter's.
Does all the work, but doesn't get the finish. Really did an excellent job of clearing that space out there for herself. But can't get the bucket to go, and we get another timeout with 4 minutes to go.
Hamilton have called this one. Got to be impressed with their fight back. You take that first quarter out of this game, I don't know whether it's nerves. Obviously, it's a big, big game. Slow start, everything going the way of St. Peter's early. Hamilton couldn't buy a basket, but their performance since that 20-2 run to start the game by St. Peter's, Hamilton have been right in this contest.
They certainly have, and even more so. So it's after that 20-2 start, they've obviously been winning since then, down 12 points now, so an 8-point difference from there to here. And possibly it is nerves. Maybe it's just looking and not quite believing it's what it felt like to me. You know, a team that didn't come in knowing they were going to win. They came in hoping they could get that win, and that's a big difference. But once they got through a quarter, since then, they've been playing on the same level as their opposition.
Well, let's catch up with Andrew Horrocks again. He's been right there listening into what's going on with the coaches. Andrew, nervous times.
Yeah, for Hamilton girls, again, rebounding, they've got to secure it and then make sure they get out in the lanes quickly and get some quick baskets.
Well, that's an understatement talking about securing rebounds, I would have thought, because it hasn't been their strong suit this game. But if they can get their hands on the ball, Casey, you never know. You never know. Gold medal games, anything can happen. Final 4 minutes. St. Peter's going to have a long attempt here by Waihi. Oh, rebound strong. Charlize Ledger-Walker.
Does an amazing job of just grinding her way in on the weak side glass, boxing out and making sure that possession, if it missed, was hers.
Well, lifting her team. Lewis has been good. Contest there with Ledger-Walker. Lewis going to go it alone. Comes up short. Let's have a look at those stats. Give us the stats for Charlize Ledger-Walker, because it has been one heck of a game.
Well, I mean, it's not bad. 26 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block in 34 minutes of time.
Yeah, not bad.
So not bad. I mean, she did miss 6 shots of the 16 she's taken, so.
Well, she would be pretty fresh too. We should mention this. She missed the first half of this week because she was flying back from India.
I don't think that makes you fresh, though.
Oh, doesn't it? Okay. What, the flight? Yeah.
I've been on a few of those international travels and asked to play immediately afterwards. I can tell you that your legs aren't always in the great spot.
Oh, come on. She's young.
It's true. She should bounce back much more pliably.
Well, St. Peter's at the moment holding sway by 14. Here's Charlize. Look at that change of direction. The pass missing the mark of Bradley. And every post has got to be a winner here for Hamilton. They've got to get scores and stops. In the corner, Anderson for 3. What a last quarter she's played. Reese Anderson.
Well, coming up with some confidence, and the defense is being forced to choose between her and other shooters, and right now they're choosing wrong every time they don't pick her.
Is that 3 triples in a row for Reese Anderson? Oh, keep getting the ball to her. Miscommunication. There was actually 3 Hamilton players there. They're desperate for rebounds. There was no red singlet in amongst them, and, well, they couldn't take the rebound.
Yeah, you really need to be aware in that moment.
It's 11 points. 2 minutes 40. Not out of the question. But they've got to stop Charlize Ledger-Walker. Good ball movement. Waihi inside. Bradley around on the left. Comes up short. Loose ball, loose ball, loose ball. Who's going to bring it up? It's going to be an arrow.
Ooh. I think they might have called that jump a little bit early.
Oh, you wanted to let it go on?
Well, the ball was still loose by the time it was sitting in the hands of some Hamilton girls high school players. But good fight by both teams. Toss it all on the line, jumping onto the floor.
Have you been impressed by the level of play here at the secondary schools? Gold medal decider?
It's been pretty solid. I think had Hamilton girls had a little bit more confidence earlier, you'd have a much tighter game. But since that opening quarter,
that is strong. That's basket of the game. That's play of the game right there. Took 2 on, found a gap. How's the reverse?
It's an impressive knowledge of herself on the court where she's at, and just the aggression with which she makes that move is just really, really fun to watch.
How hard is it to finish like that? Anderson through traffic. She's had a big last quarter. Just the ability to get through 2 plays and spin it back on the reverse. That's a hard basket.
Yeah, she's just really being receptive to what the defense is offering, not forcing anything in those 28 points Charlize has this game.
Margin's at 11, but we're heading down to the final 90 seconds. Foul is drawn. So the other player we should mention is Reese Anderson, Hamilton's number 4, has had a big last quarter.
She really has. She's played quite well. 12 points for her now.
They're probably all coming this last quarter.
A lot of triples in there, I'm pretty sure, but she's fought valiantly down the stretch. Would have been excellent to see if she would have been able to get a bit more confidence early. But really, the defense was so smothering on the perimeter in that first half that Hamilton girls just didn't have a chance. And another rebound for Charlize.
What a game she's played. 90 seconds to go in the gold medal game. It'll be tough for Hamilton from here. St. Peter's looking good for 4 in 5 years. National titles we're talking about. That's what's on the table here today at Fly Palmy Arena. Lewis with a big 3-point attempt.
Oof, that might have been the last gasp there. Had you had that one, you still could maybe do some things, but with 1:10 left, straight possession game now.
Let's have a look at this replay. Just have a look at this. Now, this is Ledger Walker. No, that's not the one. Oh, here it is. Coming through. Look at that.
Strong move. Strong move there.
I said she beat 2. She had to get round 1 to start with. There's 3.
Well, if I'm Hamilton girls, I'm probably putting all 5 on her.
The old boxing 1. 4 on Charlize, 1 to cover the rest. But she has brought her players into this game really nicely as well. Nice. True team player.
I think that's probably the most gifted ability of her game is her court vision. 41 seconds left and a 12-point lead. Now 40 seconds, just under 39 seconds. But man, what a career she's had at this level.
And how about this program? Let's talk about the program. 4 national titles in 5 years, 5 gold medal games in a row. That is just an impeccable performance by this entire basketball program out of St. Peter's.
Yeah, you can't get more consistent to that, and as good as Charlize Ledger Walker. Oh, geez, might be a foul there. Let him play.
Continuation, full court continuation.
But as an impressive a player as she is, you can't do it alone on the basketball court.
No.
So it's a complete team and program effort, even though she is doubtlessly the linchpin.
And it's not just about Charlize. How about Mum Leanne, the coach, making the tough calls on the sidelines?
It can't be that tough when you've got her.
It makes it a little bit easier.
Let's run a play over here.
Right. Dying seconds. Maybe a big 3 to finish for Lewis. Nothing given, and I think we'll dribble this one out. Maybe the 2 4s. They don't want to go home. There it is. The national champions. 2019 Chic Championships. And as we said before the game, these 2 teams, they're only 30 minutes down the road from each other. They know each other well. You're going to see a lot of hugs and handshakes to finish this one off. Yeah, these 2 teams know each other well.
It's not the ecstasy you normally see from one team to another, but a lot of close friends who've grown up playing the game of basketball together and doing it one more time on a national stage for a national championship.
78-66. Congratulations to St. Peter's winners in 2015, 2016, 2018, and right now in 2019. Hamilton still searching after their win in 2012, but after a shaky start, they certainly had a fair crack at this one, Casey.
They did. They played valiantly, never lost their confidence, put all their efforts into it, but at the end of the day, St. Peter's, too good offensively, too polished, too poised, and given too big of a lead to ever be seriously challenged down the stretch.
Some of the stats, there's some big ones. Who's the MVP of the game?
That's not the most difficult question to answer. Charlize Ledger Walker, phenomenal game. Really shot the ball well for 30 points, 19 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals to go along with 1 block in the end.
Only 40% from the line, though. Some work to do.
2 for 5. It's not a perfect player. There's always improvements to be made.
And importantly for St. Peter's, all 5 starters in double-digit scoring.
Yeah, it's a really balanced score sheet despite the dominance that Ledger Walker displayed. This was a total team effort, and at the end of the day, just a team that is just too talented, too good, too well coached.
And some of the leading players for Hamilton in this championship decider, they had some good performers out there. River, Walker, Pittman, Reese Anderson.
At the end of the day, Lewis as well is sat there in double figures with 11. And River Walker Pittman up there with 18 points to go along with 3 rebounds and 5 assists. 4 steals for her as well. A solid defensive effort. 14 steals as a team for Hamilton girls. But just didn't do enough early to get themselves in a position where they could really threaten at the end of the game when they made that one final run.
Well, there they are, the champions of 2019, St. Peter's School of Cambridge, getting their photos taken. They are the Chic champions, secondary schools, nationals. What a program, what an effort. I think we can officially say dynasty now, can't we?
I don't think there's any question. 4 and 5, you're getting it done.
Thanks to Andrew Horrocks down on the sideline throughout the game. Good work keeping us up to speed. And of course, it's not over yet. Day 6 of the Schick Championships. Gold medal finals day for the Double A's. We've seen the winners of the Double A girls, St Peter's, do their thing. Coming up shortly, there it is. Double A boys grand final, St Kent's and Rosmini. Casey, I know you are very much looking forward to this. The Battle of the Bridge. Auckland's finest go head to head, and there are some big stars set to step out on the court shortly.
It's going to be a lot of fun. This is a team, a couple of teams that know each other very well, and I think that brings out the best basketball and everything. Shalom Broughton, possibly the best player in the tournament up to this point, but Tane Murray, I think he's putting his hand up as well. A battle of two of the future bright lights of New Zealand basketball, doing it one time on the junior stage before they get there.
Well, that's what's coming up. They're warming up right now. Casey, great work. Great to have you with us for the Double A girls. Double A boys coming up at the 2019 Schick Championships. More basketball real soon.